for Love or Money premieres NBC next Monday.
24-year-old Clay Aiken captivated millions with his stirring performances. Out of 24 million vote cast, he lost the American Idol title to Ruben Studdard by just 130,000 votes, but he's not facing troubled waters ahead. Clay's looking forward to an upcoming tour and a CD that sets to debut on the same day as Ruben. Clay Aiken, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. More importantly, how are you? I mean, your head must be spinning still, is it?
Completely. When I'm awake.
Yeah. Are you,
barely.
so you're exhausted.
Yeah, we're pretty busy, sir.
What busy doing what?
Well, we've been in New York since, what day is it today?
Today is Monday, Memorial Day.
We've been in New York since Thursday night or Friday or sometime like that, and we've been doing a lot of press and meeting with record executives and working on our albums.
You had a meeting with Clive Davis yesterday,
yes,
which was quite exciting.
It was extremely exciting just to be working with Clive Davis, and then it was a great meeting. We talked about my album. Which was a lot of fun.
Isn't that crazy to say? You're like, my album?
I mean,
how weird is that, right?
I know, I'm pretty excited about it. I never thought I'd do that, because this is not the path that my life was taken until 4 months ago. So it's pretty neat to be saying these things. It's kind of hard to imagine they're coming out of my mouth at the time still. But.
Well, of course, everybody's wondering what kind of songs you're going to be performing on the album. So you're going to do some covers, I understand.
Yeah.
You're going to do Bridge Over Troubled Water.
Bridge Over Troubled Water is actually going to be my first single off of that. So it's June 10th is when we're releasing that.
And you're doing Solitaire, which is Neil Sedaka's song.
Right, that's in the plan.
How's that go again?
And Solitaire's the only game in town.
That's pretty impressive at 7:41.
And we'll wait for Ruben,
right?
Ruben's got to sing a whole song.
That's true. Well, let's go back to the competition. That Wednesday night, when you heard that Ruben was the winner, how tough was that? I mean, you were so close and yet no cigar.
I didn't think of it that way, because I never ever thought that I'd be in the top. I never thought I'd be in the top 10, much less the top 2. So it was just a thrill to be there in the first place. And I mean,
look
you can
you're like,
look at one.
You're like a statue.
I was so
was
proud.
Your heart pounding? Did you feel like it was going to jump right out of your chest?
Yeah, of course we were a little bit nervous, but not that much really. We were just both of us very excited to be there, and I'm extremely proud of Ruben. He said to me the night before on Tuesday night, the two least likely people to be in this position, and here we are. And he was right, and we were both just excited to be as far as we were. And whoever won, he would have been proud of me if I had won, and I'm extremely proud of him that he won.
No cat fighting in the dressing room?
Do you think I'd fight with Ruben?
That's true. You'd have to bring it down. But I mean, you guys, what I thought was impressive is how gracious you were to each other, particularly you, Clay, because obviously you didn't get the brass ring. No. I mean, you did really well, but it must have been tough in a way to not feel disappointed and, frankly, a little bitter.
Well, I think people have a really hard time believing me when I say, I'm just thrilled that really, I'm lucky enough, I'm fortunate enough that I'm going to get a record contract anyway, and I'm just thrilled to be in the top 3, the top 2. I didn't get cut and have to get sent home on the last night of the show.
Right.
I just didn't win. I got to stay the whole season.
Now, there's speculation that you knew that Ruben had won 5 minutes before the announcement.
Well,
this is like all these conspiracy theories, like Oliver Stone needs to be here to discuss this. But is this true?
Well, the night of the show, usually every Wednesday night we try to figure out, okay, someone says, the executive producer is looking at me really weird, I know I'm out. That type of thing. So actually, we try to put 2 and 2 together every Wednesday night. And right before we went out on Wednesday night, Ryan was over there reviewing his card, and I was standing beside him, and my eye shot over to the right, and all I saw was that the name on the card was long, and my name's not very long, and Studdard is pretty long. So I didn't see for sure that his name was on the card, but I did put 2 and 2 together and say, okay, if that's the card, then it's probably Ruben and not me. So I had a little bit of preparation.
Right. So, that was, I guess, helpful at the time, right? That it wasn't a complete shock. Now,
yeah, probably.
Let's talk about the judges. You seemed to take what they had to say, pretty seriously, and we were very earnest about their comments. Was there one judge you tried to please more than others? Like, for example, Paula?
Well, you try to please them all, but you really want to please Simon. Because he's going to say something nasty if you don't.
Right.
So, which is for some reason, even when I did what he told me the week before, the next week he'd come back with something new. So, I respect all of them. They know what they're talking about. I mean, if Simon says I'm making faces while I'm singing, I'm going to go home and work in the mirror and make sure I'm not making faces the next week. And then he's not going to say anything about the fact that I didn't make faces that week, and he's going to think of something new. So you work on it.
Do you think the show will be as popular without Simon if he doesn't participate in the next American Idol?
I think
he sort of makes the show, doesn't he? Just because I think people will wait for his nasty comments.
I think it'll be difficult. I think that he's very valuable to the show. But I think all three of them together, just the fact that they are each so unique and so different, and they all have their, someone said that Paula was the nurturing figure, and Randy was the big brother, supportive big brother, and they all have their thing. So I don't think that with any of them being gone, I think that any of them leaving would hurt the show.
All right. Now, finally, what's ahead for you? I know you're a senior at the University of North Carolina in Charlotte, or you were when this whole thing unfolded. So are you going to be able to finish college? You were studying special education and, in fact, working with special ed kids, middle schoolers, right? Which I think is such a great thing. Will you go back to that? Or I guess that's going to be hard to do that and be a big recording star, too, right?
Well, I don't know that I'm going to be able to teach hands-on for a while. I mean, it's definitely something I'd love to do, but I think that I'd definitely love to figure out a way to parlay whatever influence that I have as a celebrity into supporting, causes that support individuals with mental disabilities.
Well, a lot of people say you brought a lot of attention to autism in particular, which I think is a great thing that you've been able to accomplish. Well, Cray Aiken, it's so great to meet you after watching you for weeks and weeks, and my 7-year-old daughter is coming in, so she's going to be all over you like a cheap suit. She's one of the original Claymates.
Oh, good.
Anyway, congratulations on everything, and best of luck, Clay.
Thank you.